Hi guys, sorry I've been away for a while, but actually in my absence, I figured out there was this one button on my website I didn't click on, and this happened. For the last 30 days, 1,929,321 page views. Come on guys, this isn't that kind of channel. Hi guys and welcome back. It's been a while. My name's Phil and welcome to the channel. So if you're watching for the first time, over the last 2 years I've been following the Project 24 method and trying to build sites and get passive income. And this is really just a documentation of how I'm doing. So what we're going to do today is look at 3 sites that I tried to build following that method, and they're all at sort of different ranges and different ages. But the oldest site is now over 24 months old. I started that back in May of 2019. And the other 2 sites I'm going to talk about are from October 2019. So this update video is a little bit different to what I normally do. I'm going to be attacking 2 months, so the month of May and the month of June, and just giving you guys a bit of an update about these sites. So if we talk about site 1, which as I said was started back in May 2019, it's got at the moment about 134 posts on it. And to be honest, I haven't really touched it in a couple of months. I've been really concentrating on site 3 because that is really the big earner. But let's talk about the stats anyway. So if we turn back to May, this site got just shy of 20,000 page views. Which is not bad because, to be honest, the search analysis wasn't great on this. This was really my learning site. And as I look back through some of the training and the update of the training to Project 24, I realized that I missed a few things. But it's still kind of doing okay for what I did for it, but very much it's kind of plateaued out. So the idea would be to add more content to this over the future, but it's just not priority number 1 for me at the moment. Now, as many of you know, back in June, Google decided, hey, let's with everyone. As most of you who have websites know, back in June, Google decided to get back to their old tricks and make it interesting for everyone. And did my site get hit? Well, I think it did. So if we look at the stats for June, it went down from just shy of 20,000 to about 16,631 page views. And of course you can see the difference between organic search here and all the page views. I mean, was it hit significantly? Well, not really. I imagine that if I went and did a deep dive into the stats, I'd probably find a couple of rankings that I lost, and overall perhaps I could get them back over time. So I wasn't hit too badly, but I was definitely hit. So let's jump into the Google Search Console for those of you that like to look at this. So what we've got on the screen is basically June and May. So you can see that in May for this site, site 1, I got 12.4k clicks, and that went down to about 10,500 clicks. So obviously it's showing the same issue here. I definitely got hit by whatever's happening with the Google update. And someone also pointed out that the Google Search Console is kind of split into like web and other things. So here are the images. Hey, I got like 314 clicks down to 265 clicks for the images. Not too bad. Okay, so this brings me on to site 2. And again, site 2 has a bit of a backstory. It's a site that I started when I was going to get married. It's in the wedding niche. And I'm not that interested in weddings, so it kind of really didn't go anywhere. I got my writers to write about 34 posts, and I haven't put anything on this site for about a year. I keep saying that I will, but my interest in weddings doesn't grow. But I'm holding on to the site because it's got potential, I think. So in terms of the page views, it got 2,487 page views in May. And again, you can see the split. So about 94% of that is organic traffic. All my sites have high organic traffic because that's the way I built it. And you can see the time on page, it's nearly 7 minutes, which is not bad. I think I must be doing something right, at least on some articles. But again, if we compare that to June, did this site get hit by the June update? Well, it's hard to say. It's telling me that I got 3,198 page views, of which just shy of 3,000 were organic. So something happened here in the middle of June. It got a massive spike, so something was happening there, and then it went away again. If we just look back, so we're looking at nearly 1,000 page views and more. Well, maybe 500, say. Yeah, 500 to 600 more. So it's still growing. I haven't touched it for a year and it's still growing. So it's just a question of getting my act together and putting a couple posts on this. Again, if we look at the Google Search Console for this, so back in May, this only got about 2,000 clicks, and in June it got 2,500 clicks. So this site has survived whatever's happening so far. It's actually improved in the rankings. So this is interesting. If you're in the wedding niche, maybe you can tell me, did the same thing happen to you in the comments? Be interesting to know. And also for whoever asked me about the images, no, it doesn't do very well on images. So this brings me on to site 3. Site 3 really is the most successful site I've got so far. Is it the niche? Is it just that I honed the skills the more that I did this? I have to say that site 2 and site 3 were kind of rush jobs. If you know the story, I got a little bit drunk and I put an advert on Facebook for local writers here in Taiwan, like expats. And then I had to suddenly, when people answered, I had to suddenly get things rolling. But yeah, so site 3, apparently I did a better job, because if we look back in May, the total was 39,436. I was really hoping to break the 40,000 page view barrier in that month. If we compare that to what happened in June, did it get hit by the update? It got 39,519. So what's that, like less than 100 page views more? So it didn't get hit so much, but there is this weird thing. I'm sure that a lot of you saw this in June. You got a lot of direct traffic. So on the 7th of June, it got sort of, if I look at the stats, I got like 500 direct page views to this. I can only think that was Google bots. So that kind of skews the figures a bit. So if we look at the organic numbers, if we go back to May, it got 36,813. It got 36,240 in June. So it did get hit slightly by what was happening. I think it might recover a little bit. It's certainly, if we look at July, it's looking a little bit better, but obviously that's for a future video. So I think it is going to survive. It hasn't nosedived, but I was experiencing so much growth over the last couple of months. So this is a bit disappointing. But it's one of those things. Google, they're out to get you. They're not there to help you. You've just got to play by the rules. And if you're not, you've got to learn how to do it. So if we look at Google Search Console, perhaps we'll get a bit more information. So again, we've got May and June, and we can see clearly that in June, I got about 1,000 fewer clicks. But again, is that because it's 31 days compared to 30? I'm kind of getting to that stage with this site where it's nearly getting to 1,000 views every day consistently. In fact, it's getting more than 1,000 views every day consistently, because it's at 30-ish thousand page views. So that could just be the difference of one day. How crazy is that? 1,000 page views every single day. So let's talk about the money. So at the moment, I only really talk about the money connected to this site. But I do get a little bit of money from other projects that I have that are not connected to these 3 sites. Mainly the way that I monetize is with ads and with Amazon. I'm trying to move into other affiliate programs, and I just realized that I'm terrible at selling. This is one of the skills that I really need to learn how to do. But if we look at Amazon, first of all, let's look at what happened in April. So April, across all my sites, I only made $108.71. which is not big money, but we all know that Amazon, they don't really like to share. They don't, don't pay their affiliates very much in terms of commissions, even though, I generated like $3,000 worth of sales for them, $100, great. And then it gets even worse when you look at May. So in May, my commissions went down to $44.97 for all of those sites. And even though, if we look, the clicks, almost the same, about 200 clicks difference, the conversion was a lot different. So I had 12% in back in April. It went down to about 7% in May. And if we compare that to June, June's gone up a little bit. The clicks were a lot less, so only 894 clicks, but the conversion rate was 14%. So things with Amazon aren't really working out. I think it's, like I said before, it's a sinking ship for us affiliates. So we all need to learn how to sell better. Amazon is just too easy. Most of the things that I get commissions for weren't even things that I suggested. So it's one of the major skills I'm trying to learn. And I've actually invested a fair bit of money in the last month trying to learn how to do this better. So that brings me to ads. So I am with Ezoic. I didn't like Ezoic when I first did that about a year ago. I love them now. So most of my money comes from ads, which means that all my sites have a lot of potential, because if I can unlock the affiliate side of it, how to make sales in other ways, I could almost double the revenue. It's just something I haven't figured out quite yet. So looking at May in total, so the total earnings for May were $870.66. The bulk of that is always going to come from site 3. And if we compare that to June, it went up to $926.67. So if I combine that, the Ezoic, with my Amazon earnings officially for these 3 sites, the Project 24 method, I have reached $1,011.49, officially in the 1,000 a month club if Amazon keeps playing ball. So basically, when I started doing this, I knew nothing about websites, how to build traffic. I've been playing around with things, but it was really nothing that was ever going to lead to profit online. So I've been following Project 24, and basically it is working, but real life gets in the way. And this is what happens when real life gets in the way and you don't stay focused on what you're doing. Now, if you're the kind of person that can focus on one task and you just need a step-by-step kind of playbook of what you've got to do to make money online, what you need to do to get traffic, I can really recommend Project 24. I don't think I would be here if I hadn't followed that course. And hopefully I'm going to be there sometime in the future. But if I quickly break down the ads a little bit. So if we look at site 1, you can see that in June, site 1 got $121.57. Site 2 got $18.96. Site 3 got $777.54. And there's actually a fourth website on this account, which is bestmansbestman.co.uk. I did a video where I showed that by switching from AdSense to Ezoic, I went from earning like $4 over 2 years to $8.56 in the month of June. So that's adding almost a tenner to the total. So looking at everything, it's all relative. I know that there are other people out there that are earning much more than me with the same amount of traffic. And there are also people who do as much work as I do or more who don't earn the same thing. So what I really want to say is this channel is not about teaching you how to do this. It is really about my journey and what's happening to me. And hopefully by talking about what's happening to me, I'm going to give you guys that light bulb moment where you're kind of like, okay, I better not do that. So in the last kind of month, what I've realized is I've been focusing on just building content for the sake of it. That's great for ads, but when it comes to converting for affiliate links, I've not really focused on the intent too much of what the user is writing about or what they want to find out about. So when I come to put on affiliate links, I always used to think, okay, I'm getting nearly 40,000 visitors. If I just get 1% of them to convert, I could get this amount of money. But the problem is, I put the offer in front of them and even 1% of them isn't interested because I haven't kind of sculptured the posts to the right way. So this is something I'm going to be changing as I go forward. I'm going to be really thinking about the post that I am writing and the end result. How am I going to get paid for that post? It's not something I've been thinking about until now, and hopefully that's going to make all the difference.